What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Going for Two. I am Ke'Juan Humphries. And last night we learned a lot. We learned a lot about how the NBA playoffs. We learned a lot about a couple of these teams that played last night. We're going to talk about the doubleheader from Sunday afternoon with the Indiana Pacers and Cleveland Cavaliers, and the early afternoon game between the Denver Nuggets and Oklahoma City Thunder. Now I want to start with the Pacers and the Cavs because that was a blowout and we all saw it. This game showed me that the Pacers are a lot better than I thought they was. Even when they were up 2-0, I had that doubt of them in my mind. I was thinking, okay, they're up 2-0, they squeak game 2 out. When the Cavs get back, they're in trouble. And then game 3 further boosted my thought. Game 3 further boosted my ego or whatever when the Cavs came out and pretty much dominated the game. So game 4, I came into game 4 thinking, okay, this is a big game because game 4 is in Indiana. If the Cavs tie this joint back up 2-2, the Pacers are in deep, deep trouble. But the exact opposite happened because the Pacers came out there and they punched the Cavs in the mouth over and over and over and over again in that first quarter. 36 points in the first quarter for the Indiana Pacers. 80 points in the first half for the Indiana Pacers. Before you knew it, not before you knew it, you watched it happen. The score was 80-39 at halftime. 41-point lead. The number one seed in the Eastern Conference was down 41 points in a playoff game at halftime. All guys were there. Nobody missed the game. And they're down by 41 points. Let's talk about it. The Pacers have proven that their offense is might be the best offense in the NBA. As of right now, in the playoffs, it's definitely been the best offense in the playoffs. And now, granted, it may be because of the competition they're playing. You know, they played against a Bucks defense that's not that good, and they're playing against a Cavs defense that they're just picking apart this size that they have. They're picking apart the Twin Tower defense. They're picking it apart. But when you go 12 for 18 from 3 in the first half, you go 30 for 50 from the field in the first half, you're a really, really tough team to stop. Because the thing with the Pacers with me is, it's not a one-man show. Halliburton is the best player. He's the ringleader. He's the floor general, yes. But it's not a one-man show. You got Siakam that go in and drop 20 points. You got Nembhard, who's been great this whole playoffs. Nesmith, who's been great this whole playoffs. Miles Turner started out 4 for 4 from downtown in this game. Everyone's eating. Everyone's touching the ball. Everyone's cooking. They had 25 assists on 30 made shots in that first half. That shows you this team, it's really tough to guard this team. They're not going to play iso ball. They're going to get the ball off the brim, off a miss, and they're going to run. They're going to jet. And if you let them get an offensive rebound, you're in even deeper trouble. You're in even deeper trouble, man. And I mean, man, this came out of left field for me. Because, you know, game 3, the Cavs went into a zone. They got Evan Mobley back. They went to a zone, put Evan Mobley at the top of the zone, made stuff tough for everybody. But they went to that zone this game, and they shot them out of that joint. They shot them out of that zone so quickly, so easily. And once a team got it going, especially at home, it's like an avalanche. You know, it's like a barrage. It's like when you throw a snowball down a snowy mountain. The snowball just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what ultimately happened in this game. You know, they were already up 20 points. Then closed the half out on a 19-2 run to go up by 40 going into halftime. That is absolutely insane, y'all. Absolutely crazy. This team is on their way to one game away from back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals appearances. You know, I think they're a legit threat to win the Eastern Conference. I'm not fully sure. I'm not fully sold on them winning the finals just yet, but I think they're a legit chance. You look at the way the Celtics are playing. You look at the way that the Knicks, and the Pacers are kind of, to me, on the same level per se, on the same level coming into the playoffs. You know, but the Pacers have been the best team in the playoffs so far. They've been the best team. They have all kinds of wins. They have comfortable wins. They have blowout barrages like tonight, and they have a couple of them. How did they win this game type wins, like the one in Game 5 against the Bucks and Game 2 in this series against the Cavaliers. So, man, this team is a legit threat, and I have to tip the cap to them because even when they were up 2-0, I was like, okay, well, I think they still may mess around and lose 4 in a row. I felt like the Cavs were just that good, but the Cavs have their own issues. Moving on to the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. They have their own issues, man. Donovan Mitchell got hurt. I hope he can get back. I hope his season's not over with an injury like this, rolling his ankle. Um, Man, I think you have to have a legit conversation about this team and if the makeup of this team can get you over the hump. Last year it was the Boston Celtics that took them out. This year, if they unless they pull out 3-1 comeback, I don't see it happening. It's gonna be the Indiana Pacers that take them out. My thing is, how often are you gonna win 64 games in the regular season to set you up for with what should have been the easiest road to the Eastern Conference Finals? It should have been an easy road. They didn't have to play the Celtics. They didn't have to play with the Knicks, but they got to face some Pacers. And the truth is the makeup of this team going to work? You have the Twin Towers. Jared Allen has not had a good series. They're picking on him every chance they get, and offensively, he has to be spoon fed all of his buckets. He's kind of offensively like a Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert has brick hands, yes, but both guys they have to score off putbacks and off drop offs. They're not gonna get their own bucket off the post or anything. So that puts a wrinkle in the offense. And then defensively, they are attacking him off the screens. They're attacking him off the screens and making him get out there and slide his feet. It's just really, really tough for them. Really, really tough. Donovan Mitchell, there needs to be a conversation about him as well. Can he be the best player on the championship team? We've seen it for 8 years now. He hasn't made it out the second round yet. Out of 8 years. So this is just really, really tough. It's really, really tough. Donovan Mitchell, this isn't the first time he's had the number 1 seed. It's going to get bounced by a team that we believe was lesser. 2021 playoffs. Utah Jazz were first in the Western Conference, and lost to a Kawhi-less Clippers. Kawhi, they were up 2-0. Kawhi got hurt in Game 4 when it was 2-2, and then Paul George won the last 2 games of the series. So I don't know. I'm a believer in Evan Mobley. I think Evan Mobley is an Anthony Davis type player. He's a guy that is all world defensively and offensively. He can do everything that you wouldn't expect a guy his size can do. He can shoot from the outside. He can put the ball on the ground. Of course, he's going to be dominant on the inside as well. If Evan Mobley can make that next jump to being, he may not have to be the best player on the Cavs, but if he can be a solid equal to Donovan Mitchell, then this team is different. But until then, we may see more of this story over and over and over again for the Cavs. I think that's just how it's going to be. Let me know in the comments how y'all feel about, can Donovan Mitchell be the best player on the championship winning team? Let me know how y'all feel about it. Moving on to the early afternoon game between the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. This game, I can't say it was a better watch. It was a closer game, but I can't say it was a better watch. Well, no, I'm not going to disrespect like that. It was a better watch than the Cavs and Pacers game because it was a close game. But the first half was unbearable. Both teams were just missing a bunch of shots. I think both teams combined for 21 for 76 from 3-point line this game. That's insane to me, But somehow, some way, the Thunder pulled out the win and tied the series up 2-2. And the big takeaway for this game for me is depth. All season long, we talked about OKC's depth and how they just have this 9, 8, 10-man rotation that is better than everybody else's. And we did not see it really come into fruition until yesterday. Because when Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort has been horrible on the road. They said he hasn't made a road 3 ball since March, but that's besides the point. And Isaiah Hartenstein, all 4 of the starters don't score more than 9 points, 8 points. Who's got to step up? It's the Alex Carusos, the Kassan Wallaces, the Aaron Wiggins. Those guys had to step up and help take this team to victory. 35 bench points for OKC. All 3 of those guys finished with a double-digit points and played intricate pieces, crucial pieces in the fourth quarter comeback for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shai Gilgeous, he was Shai Gilgeous. He was kind of pedestrian. I don't think he scored in the third quarter at all. Had 16 points in the first half, didn't score in the third quarter, had 9 points in the fourth quarter. Finished 25 points in the game, but this wasn't his best game by no means. So it was big. It was big that the second unit was able to come out there and really help take this team to victory. Denver Nuggets, Jokic. He had 27 points, 7-22 from the field. But this was not a good Jokic game. And the truth is, the last 2 games for Jokic have not been good for him. I just think this Thunder defense is really good. We saw all year long. This Thunder defense is crazy. You know, a piece that we have not seen, that we did not expect. I didn't expect Jalen Williams, not J Dub, but Jalen Williams off the bench from Arkansas. I didn't expect him to have such a good impact defensively, but he's been really good on Jokic this series. You know, not to mention the Twin Towers or the double big lineup with Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren. But Jokic has not been able to get going much in this series at all, really. Besides Game 1 when he had that crazy stat line, you know. So if he's not really getting off, this team is in trouble, you know, because everyone else didn't really play well as well. Michael Porter Jr. looks horrible. He's definitely dealing with that shoulder injury. He looks horrible. He 1 for 7, 0 for 5 from 3-point line. Jamal Murray had 17 points, not the biggest impact. Aaron Gordon had 16, 17 points as well. Christian Brown didn't shoot well, but he finished 17 points. He got seven free throws made, so we got to the line. But you're cool with that. You know, if they're not hitting a bunch of threes off of you helping onto Jokic when he's one-on-one, then you're living with whatever happens. And they only scored 87 points in this game. The Nuggets only scored 87 points. You know, and that's actually crazy when you think about who they have on their team. The shooters and the spacing, the guys and the best player in the world on their team only scoring 87 points. You know? But Russell Westbrook had a bad game, 2 for 12 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3-point range. You know? This was just a really grinded out game. You know, they scored 8 points in the first quarter, y'all. The score was 17-8 in the first quarter. So the defense was there. Defense, a combination with missing a lot of easy open shots too as well. But the defense was there the whole game for OKC, and I think that defense and the depth is what made them this really good team. Yes, we know about how they could just knock down 1,000 threes and Shai Gilgeous can go out for 1,000 points. But this team defensively was probably the best defensive team in the NBA all year long. And I'm not saying in terms of statistics because we know Orlando was the top team. I think OKC was the second in terms of defensive rating, was second team in the NBA. You know, and we're seeing that here in the playoffs, especially in this series. They've just locked down almost every. Of course, they locked down the Grizzlies. Really, were not that good, especially when Ja got hurt. But in this series, in this game, they really locked in and buckled on defense, and that has helped them tie this series up. I think OKC may pack this series up. It may be over in 6. They're going to be back at OKC in Game 5. I think OKC takes that one pretty handily. And Game 6 in Denver is going to be a big one. You know, assuming. I mean, no matter what's going to be a big one, but assuming OKC wins Game 5. You know. Very, very crazy. Very, very crazy couple of games. We have 2 more games tonight. The Boston and New York Knicks Game 4. Very big Game 4 for them. And, you know, Warriors trying to stay alive until Steph can come back. Game 4 with them and the Minnesota Timberwolves. But let me know in the comment section how y'all feeling about these last 2 games, man. You know, I have one more thing to say about the OKC and Denver series. It's kind of turned into a waiting game. We're waiting to see which one of Shai or Jokic is going to really go off and take over because we haven't seen the signature Shai Gilgeous game yet. I thought we would see it yesterday, and it looked like we were in the first half, but we have not seen a signature Shai Gilgeous game. I believe we haven't even seen a signature Jokic game either. You know, so we're waiting to see which one of those MVP frontrunners are going to really make a mark in a crucial point, in a crucial game in this series. So, but that's all I got, man. Until next time, I'm going for 2. We out of here. Yeah.